Roughly 250,000 people, rich and poor alike, bade farewell to Pope Francis on Saturday. Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re drew applause during a highly personal sermon. The Dean of the College of Cardinals recalled Pope Francis as a Pope of the people. After the funeral mass on St. Peter's Square, the Pope's coffin was moved to the Basilica of St. Mary Major for a private burial. Despite the attendance of presidents and princes, it was prisoners, transgender people, migrants, and the poor who welcomed the Pope's coffin at his final resting place in the Basilica. The Pope choreographed the funeral himself and hoped that the ceremony would reflect the priorities of his papacy. The late pontiff's aim was to emphasize his role as a mere pastor rather than a powerful religious leader.
Nine people have been killed and multiple others injured after a car rammed into a crowd at a Filipino street festival in Vancouver, Canada, according to police. People were celebrating the Lapu-Lapu Day festival when the car entered the street on Saturday evening. A 30-year-old Vancouver man was arrested at the scene. Video posted on social media showed victims and debris strewn across a long stretch of road, with at least 7 people lying immobile on the ground. The Vancouver Police Department added that they don't believe it was an act of terrorism and are carrying out an investigation.
The Russian Federal Security Service says it's detained a suspect in the killing of Lieutenant General Yaroslav Moskalik. The Kremlin has blamed Ukraine for the killing of the top Russian military officer who died after a car exploded in a residential area near Moscow. Ukrainian authorities did not comment on the attack.
Им оказался агент украинских спецслужб Игнат Кузин, 1983 года рождения, имеющий вид на жительство на Украине. В настоящее время с подозреваемым работают следователи Главного следственного управления Следственного комитета России. Устанавливаются обстоятельства преступления. Идет сбор доказательств.
The incident marked the second attack on a top Russian military officer in 4 months that Moscow has blamed on Ukraine. In December last year, Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov died after a device hidden in an electric scooter was detonated remotely.
Hospitals in Gaza received the remains of 51 people who were killed in Israeli strikes over the span of 24 hours, the health ministry said on Sunday. The Israeli military has carried out daily waves of airstrikes since 18 March, when it ended a 6-week ceasefire with Hamas, and ground forces have occupied more land to expand a buffer zone, controlling around 50% of the territory. It has also blocked the entry of all humanitarian aid to Gaza for nearly 60 days. It says both steps aim to pressure Hamas into releasing the remaining 59 hostages it holds. But rights groups call the blockade a starvation tactic and a potential war crime. Aid groups are running out of food and Palestinians struggle to feed their families. Meanwhile, Israeli anti-government protesters continued with their weekly rallies on Saturday, demanding a ceasefire and hostage deal. Hamas said it has sent a high-level delegation to Cairo to continue the indirect ceasefire negotiations with Israel. Russia's top general said in a meeting with President Vladimir Putin that all Ukrainian troops have been forced from Russia's Kursk region, parts of which Moscow lost control over to a surprise Ukrainian incursion. Ukrainian officials, however, said the fighting was still continuing. Ukraine's general staff said Ukrainian troops continue to hold positions and inflict fire damage in the region. Russia also confirmed that North Korean soldiers had fought alongside the Russians against Ukrainian troops in Kursk, the first direct admission of their presence. Meanwhile, Russian attacks continued across Ukraine overnight into Saturday, killing at least 3 people, according to local officials. 2 people died in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region and another in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Several people, including an 11-year-old girl, were injured in the attack.